From R.D. Smothers Wealth Management, this is The Retirement.
When you retire, if you want an exciting life, you need a boring investment strategy.
Matters.
If you enter into retirement without a plan for income, you're not retired, you're simply unemployed.
Podcast.
Hey, this is your host, Dale Smothers, and you're listening to the Retirement Matters Podcast. My hope is that you will find the information you need in every single show on how to do one of the three things: either saving more money more efficiently, planning better for your future where you can live in retirement worry-free, or my favorite, how you can live a happy and fulfilled life in this life you have been given. We know that your time is valuable, and we appreciate you spending it listening to this episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast. On this episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast, you're going to be listening to a radio show that was first recorded and broadcasted live on the 5th of January, 2025. And it was then played across several stations all throughout the weekend in Tennessee and Kentucky. So the reason I say that is that the first two segments of the show are talking about America turning 249 years old, and the Pause for Positivity plays on that. In the second section, we discuss some recent wins that America has had. But the third section, if you're listening to the podcast, is a very, very important section for you to listen to. If you don't listen to anything else, make sure you listen to that third section, because it is going to go into this concept of living in retirement versus existing in retirement. And there are two very distinctly different ways of going through retirement. Are you on this journey and living happy to its fullest, or are you going on this journey and just merely existing? And a lot of that has to do with how you're planning for this journey, especially that back half of the journey. So we hope that you enjoy the show. And I know it's a little bit different than a normal show, but I'll tell you, if there is anything that we can do to help you live in retirement rather than exist in retirement, we're here for you. 270-600-PLAN, or you will hear throughout the show, rdswealth.com. You can log in, set up a time for an advisor to reach out to you, and we will reach out to you at a time that is convenient for you in knowing more ways for you specifically to take the next step towards a retirement you've always imagined. So without any further interruption or description of the show, let's go straight to the show. And I hope you enjoy this episode of the Retirement Matters Podcast. Good morning to you. I hope you are doing well, and you are ready to start discussing all things retirement matters. Happy birthday, USA. 249 years old this weekend. It has been an incredible celebration. We just got done with a celebration here at Campbellsville. We've got a very large celebration that takes place in Campbellsville, Kentucky. Nobody does it like Campbellsville when it comes to the 4th of July. A big celebration. A lot of people out, had a great time. And however it is that you spent your 4th of July, I hope that you have had an incredible weekend celebrating this great country, which we all live in, and thank God we do. This is going to be the Pause for Positivity section of our show, and it is simply to stop and think about how lucky and how blessed we are to live in such an incredible nation. We essentially have won the genetics lottery. And we're going to talk today about a couple of things that the United States are winning at. We have recently seen a lot of wins, both domestic and globally. On the global stage, we've had a ton of wins. On the domestic stage, we have recently seen some things fall into place, and we're going to go through some of those here in the next section. But today, for right now, at least in this section, this Pause for Positivity section of the show, we're just going to stop and thank God that we live in the country that we do. Thank God for the United States. I was doing some research in preparation for the show, and I remembered a statistic years ago that I heard about a very low amount of salary making us, if you make over a certain amount of money, you are a wealthy individual in terms of the global perspective. So I went looking, and the most recent numbers say this, that if your family makes over $50,000 a year, if you have a family that makes over $50,000 a year, you are one of the top 15% income earners in the world. in the world. Over $50,000 a year makes you more successful financially on an annual basis than 85% of the global population. So it got me thinking, what is the average global income? And the average global income is $18,000 a year, according to the latest data. $18,000 a year is an average income for every individual who lives on planet Earth. It's $18,000 a year. Well, when I started looking at income, then I wondered what kind of net worth would it take to be considered one of the wealthiest individuals in the world. And the net worth of $93,170, according to a study by CNBC, puts you in the top 10% of the world in terms of net worth. Now, we may ask, what is a net worth? Well, a net worth is anything that you possess, anything that you own, your car, your land, your house, your money, your retirement accounts, your savings account, checking account, CDs, whatever it is, all of the things that you own minus all of the things that you owe for, all of your debt. If you have a net worth, a positive net worth of over $93,000, you are the top 10% in the world. And I'm going to tell you something. No matter where you sit today, you are able to turn it around and begin working yourself towards more success financially for one reason and one reason alone, and that is that we are in the country that we are in. There are many countries, and although they may be considered democratic or they may be considered capitalistic, there is still a caste system that is in place that when you are born a janitor's son, you become a janitor. And there's nothing wrong with being a janitor. But if that janitor's son wants to be an engineer, well, good luck, because it's just not going to happen. You are born in the caste system, and whatever caste you are of, you will become. This is not America. And thank God it is not. Because of America, you have the right and the freedom to choose what you become. It's not a guarantee. This right to become anything does not mean that you will become anything. It means that you have the freedom and the ability to go and put hard work into motion and become what you desire. You have the right to pursue happiness. You don't have the right to be guaranteed happiness. This real world that we live in is still full of disappointments, but it's how you handle those, and it's how you pick yourself up and move on to the next chapter in your life that matters. And I'm telling you, because you live in America, we all have the ability to turn the page and have a blank page. This is a blessing. Many times, people that go through life outside of America, and certainly outside of Western civilization, have the page already filled in. They are just reading their story. They're not writing their own. So once again, the pause for positivity this week is that we are thankful to have won the genetics lottery and to have been born in this great country that is celebrating its 249th year of existence. It's never been better to be an American. And this is because of people just like you. America is America because of its people. And so I will take this pause and say thank you. Thank you for being the person who makes someone's day better. Thank you for being someone who is impacting an individual every single day. And that only happens because we are intentional about it. So let's go through this week being thankful and being intentional, helping others along the way. There's our pause for positivity this week, and you are going to hear a consistent stream of thought here throughout the show today about independence and freedom. And clearly that is because of the 4th of July and the significance that it has played in our lives. But when you walk into retirement, you are going to desire a sense of freedom and independence, being able to do what you want to do and when and how you want to do those things the way you desire. And in order to do that, there are a significant number of decisions that have to be made correctly for you to accomplish the retirement you've always imagined. Now, what we do here every week is we do our best to help you understand the steps along the way to successfully retire. But it's hard for us to personalize or tailor-make those recommendations to you. So what we want to extend for you this week is an offer to a class that we call the Retirement Readiness Class. You'll hear a lot about this over the coming couple of weeks. We are holding a July the 22nd or July the 24th. Either of those 2 days, we are holding a class for you. You get to choose the day that you come to this class. It will be in our office here in Campbellsville, Kentucky. This is for the Campbellsville listening audience. You are more than welcome to come if you hear this on any other station, but it's in Campbellsville, Kentucky, July the 22nd and 24th. We're holding a class, and it is a one-day event. You pick the day from 6 to 7:30. It is a retirement readiness class where we will deep dive into the things that you must make sure you have checked off the box before retirement. This will allow you to walk into retirement with the financial freedom and independence that you desire, but you don't have to do it alone. We're here to help you. 270-600-PLAN in order to RSVP for that class, or you can jump on our website and go to attend an event where you can register for this class. Again, rdswealth.com, our website. You can attend the class by clicking on there, or give us a call, simply 270-600-PLAN, and we will reserve a seat for you on the day of your choice, July the 22nd or 24th. We look forward to seeing you there. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to talk about some of the ways that America is winning on the global stage and the domestic stage. And if you are pro-America, you're going to want to hear some of the things that we're discussing here, and maybe even how it will impact your stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or 401k in the future. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with more Retirement Matters right after this.
You're listening to the Retirement Matters Show with Dale Smothers. Dale is the founder and president of R.D. Smothers Wealth Management. We specialize in building retirement plans that allow you to walk away from the worry of running out of money. If you'd like to chat with a member of our team, you can do so absolutely free by calling 270-600-PLAN. That's 270-600-PLAN. Visit us online at rdswealth.com and be sure to sign up for our free weekly newsletter.
All right, welcome back to the show. I want to go through a few ways that America is truly winning on the global stage, as well as the domestic stage. And we'll start here at home. The domestic stages have maybe a more direct impact on you and your money in the near term. But in the long term, the global stage has a significant impact on where you are in your financial journey maybe 5 or 10 years from now. Now, some of these global things are immediate impacts as well. So let's just jump into them. On the domestic side, we have recently seen things like a border reestablished for American citizens. This border reestablishment has been something that the Trump administration ran on and has immediately put into motion. Now, I'm not here to debate the politics of that, but I'll tell you that America having a strong border and knowing who is coming in this country is a good thing for you if you're an American citizen, whether that is due to work or it is due to war. We want to know who is in this country and what business they are doing here. We have reestablished that border, and that is a win. Another one is that oil prices have remained resistant to any kind of inflation whatsoever. Oil and energy costs are low, and they remain low. That's a win. Inflation has remained low, according to the latest statistics and numbers that have come out. This measure of inflation has been resilient to rising, even in the place of tariffs, which, again, a lot of experts were calling for a rising inflation environment. We were of the belief that this inflation would be a demand destroyer, and we have been proven correct. Now, granted, inflation is not gone completely. Prices still rise, but they're not rising nearly as high as they were back in 2022. 2021, and even into 2023, we saw prices going off the rails. and they have certainly slowed down and gotten a lot closer to the Fed's target of 2% per year, year over year. We have seen a jobs report recently come out that shows a pretty stable job market. Now, if you dive into the jobs numbers, you may see that the government jobs added were the vast majority of the jobs that were added over the last month. But all in all, the jobs report was a positive thing for us in the U.S. economy, especially the stock market. And speaking of the stock market, if you haven't looked at your 401k, you're likely seeing all-time highs. Once again, the U.S. stock market and economy just seems to be firing on all cylinders right now, and that is a beautiful thing for a lot of people, especially as you get closer to retirement. And I'm going to put a little plug in here. If you are close to retirement, if you're within the next 5 years of retirement, you need to be evaluating right now how much money you need for retirement. And we can help you with that. 270-600-PLAN, or you can go to our website, rdswealth.com, and schedule a meeting. We will call you at your convenience. You can pick a time that we call you if you are close to retirement and you have not sat down to know exactly how much money you need to actually retire the way you desire. If you don't have someone telling you how much income you can generate in retirement, we need to talk. 270-600-PLAN. Get in touch with a team member. We're going to sit down with you and make sure that you know whether or not you should still be risking your hard-earned money in this stock market at all-time highs. Or wait, maybe we could take just a little bit of risk off the table and still be okay. We have a lot of conversations with people where we look at them and say, listen, you can retire just about any day you want to based off of what we're seeing here and what you desire in retirement. We can help you with that. That's where we come in. 270-600-PLAN. Another win in the economy is that interest rates are likely to lower over the next 2 to 3 months. Now, I will tell you, if we extend that out to a 6-month period of time, I'm almost certain that we will see interest rates lowered, but I expect those to maybe be lowered over the next 2 to 3 months. We have a Fed meeting coming up in July. I don't necessarily expect rates to be cut then, although they very easily could based off of what we've just seen with some of the reports that came out this past week. And we do expect in September, at least by September, to see a 25-point cut, maybe a 50-point cut, depending on what happens there. And that is a win-win for our domestic policy, really. It even helps with our global trade deficits. Now, when we think about winning on a global scale, here's a few. I'm just going to rapid fire. The Israel-Iran war is over. It took 12 days. From start to finish, 12 days, and all it took is America's involvement, and that should make us all very proud and thankful that this is over. It didn't escalate to something even worse. Now, if you remember just a few weeks ago, we were talking on the show here, and I told you one of 3 things was likely to happen. Either nothing would happen, which I didn't expect, or we would actually go to war with Iran, boots on the ground, a regime change push. I didn't expect that to happen. Or number 3, we would see one quick strike on their nuclear facilities and that it would likely end the conflict. And with that, the market would react very favorably. That is exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened, and that's what we expected to happen. Thank God that that took place the way it did. The United States also recently mediated a peace deal that has between 2 countries, Rwanda and Congo, that has been going on for several decades, and that conflict has just come to an end with the U.S. involvement as well. We have trade deals falling left and right. They are falling into place for our country, making our trade deficits less of an impact on the U.S. consumer. And here's a big one, a very big one on the global scale. The U.S. president has finally got the NATO partner countries to start paying their fair share into the NATO trust fund. This is a 5% of their GDP negotiated rate that every country will pay. And up until this recent deal was signed just a few weeks ago, there were several countries who were asked to pay 2% and paid even less than that. And now they have all agreed to pay 5% for their own survival. and they know that the United States is necessary in NATO or there is no NATO. So there you have it. There's a few ways that America is winning, not only domestically, but on the global scale for sure. And I hope that that makes you a proud American. It definitely does me. And I know that there's plenty of things in the news that you could focus on that says America is bad or that we're doing things wrong or whatever it may be. You can find your own slant wherever you desire. But I'll tell you this, the chairman, the chief of NATO, called Donald Trump daddy. When he was there, he mentioned something like, yeah, daddy had to step in and tell Iran and Israel to stop. And as wild as that is, I mean, that's wild on many, many fronts because you've got a very political talking head speaking to the president of the United States that essentially says daddy had to do this. This is really just showing America's dominance on the global side of things. And I'm telling you, that's not a bad thing for us. This is a beautiful, beautiful time to be an American and to live in this country that we are all so proud to be a part of. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back with an understanding of what it means to live in retirement versus what it means to exist in retirement. There is a difference, and I want to show you the difference there. And I want to also help you get closer towards living in retirement. We say live happy in retirement. So if you are close to retirement and you are not 100% sure that you are going to be able to retire the way you desire, you need assistance, and we're here to help you. You need to be calling our firm, 270-600-PLAN, and signing up for this free class that starts it's either July the 22nd or it's the 24th. You decide. We're going to hold the event for both of those days. The class will be an hour and a half long, and it will give you a great deal of information on where to begin getting clarity around what your retirement can be. 270-600-PLAN to RSVP for that class or jump on our website, rdswealth.com. This is the retirement readiness class where we will discuss everything from Medicare selection, Social Security enrollment, everything from how to invest your money, how to set up an income plan. All of these things will be discussed in greater detail than we could ever do on a radio show. So if you enjoy this show and you're close to retirement, it makes a lot of sense for you to come in and meet the team in person at this class. It's no cost, no obligation. The seats are limited, but if you give us a call, we'll RSVP and get you a seat in the front row if you want it. We look forward to seeing you there. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more Retirement Matters right after this.
Thank you for listening to Retirement Matters, presented by R.D. Smothers Wealth Management. We help folks just like you retire the way they desire and live happy in retirement. If you'd like to speak with us, maybe even just ask some questions, give us a call at 270-600-PLAN. That's 270-600-PLAN. And if you enjoy the information in this show and would like to hear more, you can access previous shows by searching for the Retirement Matters Podcast on the podcast platform of your choice. That's the Retirement Matters Podcast, available to you 24/7 wherever you listen to podcasts. We also produce a weekly newsletter. Receive it free to your email inbox by signing up online at rdswealth.com. That's rdswealth.com to sign up for our free weekly newsletter. Our phone number once again, 270-600-PLAN, and online at rdswealth.com. Be sure to sign up for our free weekly newsletter.
All right, welcome back to the show. Let's discuss the difference in existing in retirement versus truly living in retirement. And there is a significant difference. When you go into retirement, you are likely going to want a sense of freedom and a sense of independence in this retirement journey, to be able to do the things that you desire to do the way you would desire to do them. And that does not come if you are consistently fearful that you will make the wrong choice, whether it's the wrong choice in investments, the wrong choice in Social Security claiming strategy, or maybe it's the wrong choice in Medicare. These are all significant choices, and there are only, 3 or 4 that I listed there of as many as 20 very critical choices. And some of them are ongoing and never ending, like investment decisions. When to take income from certain sources, when to turn on your pension. How does your pension get paid out? Is it a one-time payment, or should it be over your lifetime? And if it's over your lifetime, what happens if you pass away? Does your spouse get any? These decisions are very, very important, and we see way too many people walking into retirement thinking that they made it, only to find themselves existing rather than truly living in retirement. So if you've known someone who's worked for, say, 40 years just to play it safe in retirement, then you know exactly what I mean. There are people who will work and work and work, and then when they retire, they feel like, well, I'm on a fixed income. That doesn't have to be you. Existing in retirement is when you're constantly afraid to spend money. You second guess every trip, every dinner out, every gift with your grandkids. Maybe you're wanting to buy them ice cream. And I ask you this, why? Why would you want to do that? Because you don't have to do this if you have a very clear and confident plan. That's where RDS Wealth comes in. Retirement is supposed to be the ability to go buy the ice cream for your grandchildren, to take your kids and your whole family out to dinner. I mean, my goodness, why not take them to Disney World if you have saved enough money? And whether or not you can becomes clear with a plan. It's the freedom to do these things without a fear of running out of money. So how do we do this? Well, we have to be able to build an income plan for you based off of what you are desiring. You're afraid to take the cruise or upgrade a car, or maybe you're unsure of what's coming in or going out. This is because we don't have a true income plan. Living in retirement means that you've got a reliable income strategy mapped out. Social Security is decided. Pensions are decided. There is a smart withdrawal plan for you that helps with taxes, so you don't have to worry about whether the bills are paid. You can just go have a good time. This type of investment strategy then is built to support that income plan. The investment strategy, if you are existing, is you've got patchwork for accounts. Maybe you've got a financial junk drawer, if you will. Some are here, some are there. There's no real clear strategy, and you have these mutual funds that your advisor says are going to do well, but you don't know what happens if the market drops. Do these also drop? This is no way to live because you have no peace of mind, and this is because you're merely existing in retirement. But if you are living in retirement, and let's just imagine you're working with RDS Wealth, we have helped you build your investment strategy, and they are aligning with your goals. They are supporting your income plan. They have the risk tolerance that you desire, meaning you're not going to lose the money that you don't want to lose if the market goes down. You know, risking money that you already have for money you do not need is a fool's game. So we believe that losses hurt you more than gains help you. And with that investment philosophy, we help make sure that you're not gambling. You are growing your money in a safe manner when and where needed. Tax planning is another big piece. And if you're existing with the tax plan, then every April feels like a roulette table. You don't know where your taxes are going to fall, and you don't know whether or not you're going to get paid a refund or you're going to owe big money. If you are truly living in retirement, you've worked with someone who has helped you manage your tax strategy in a way to where you know why you're paying taxes, when you should pay taxes, and at the end of the day, you realize, just like we do, that retirement's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you get to keep. And a proper tax plan will help you keep more of yours. In healthcare, you have to make sure that you have mapped out your Medicare planning as well as your long-term care planning, or you will find yourself afraid to look at medical bills, just hoping that Medicare is enough and not really even understanding what a supplement truly could do for you. This type of planning is what we help with at RDS Wealth. We'd love to help you. Here's the bottom line. Existing in retirement is living in fear, while living in retirement is freedom. Whether it's freedom to say yes to the trip, it's freedom to buy the grandkids ice cream, maybe it's buying them the bike, whatever it is, it's freedom to enjoy the life that you have worked so hard to build, to be able to walk away from work and retire the way you desire while living happy in retirement. All right, guys, and just like that, with the sound of the music, it's telling me that our show and our time together here today is over. But what I want to do is extend an offer to you. If you feel like you are just existing, or maybe you're not 100% confident that you will be able to truly live happy in retirement, you need to give our team a call, 270-600-PLAN. While on the phone, we can discuss what the best way for you would be to get the information you desire. If it's just simple questions, maybe a 15-minute phone call on the phone with one of our team members will do the trick. If it's just information, coming to one of our classes could get you exactly in line with where you need to be. And if you're ready to pull the trigger right now, we may want to sit down with an advisor over the next, say, 30 to 60 minutes. It could change the way that your retirement looks. Because here's what I know. Once you have a plan in place, it's amazing how quickly life opens up for you again. Once you know that things are taken care of, life becomes easy to live in retirement. We can help you get there. 270-600-PLAN. And whether we talk again in person or right here on this show next week, until we talk again, always remember, save money, plan well, and live happy in retirement. God bless.
R.D. Smothers Wealth Management is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by R.D. Smothers Wealth Management.